we talked about the show earlier, the whole Drake and Kendrick thing. This nigga Kendrick started his set with Euphoria.
Yeah. A menace.
Bro, he's
a menace. And he rapped everything.
He's diabolical.
Bro, how did y'all feel about him performing Not Like Us five times?
Incredible. Spiritual. Nigga, you ever been at the party with your folks and everybody turned and that fucking whoa, run that whole track. Run that whole, you make me happy. We playing it 5 times. Run it back.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.
Yeah, lay off that shit for a minute, a little second, man. Get your body right.
I can't do shit till I can't do shit for you.
Yo, Mec, don't get back right and go fight again, nigga.
I can't promise you nothing.
This nigga Mec is crazy. We need more mechanisms.
Your body was ready for one for all, nigga.
Not spasmisms.
It's all my fault. It's all my fault.
Nigga was in the gym like, real niggas don't stretch.
Oh God, that's how it be.
Ice bath, stretching, Epsom salt, all of recovery.
You did ice baths?
No, I didn't do anything I was supposed to do. Like nothing. I didn't do nothing I was supposed to do.
That nigga say, I just played.
Yo, we rolling.
I just went and played.
That's it.
Oh God, hop straight in the game. Oh God.
I'd fight, sit, fight again, because somebody said fight again, come right back to the house, take a shower, change clothes, come here. Don't do shit else. Not even a bath. Shower, put on some fresh clothes, come in here. I'll sit down in the chair feeling fine. Time to get up. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Everything, and they'll see me. They'll see me get out the chair like, oh fuck. Ah damn. Yo, man, what the fuck? You walked in here fine. What the hell happened?
13-year-old hit him with the dim mop.
Shut the fuck up.
You gonna feel that in like an hour.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get, first of all, it don't go by age, it goes by weight. So I don't care how old this dude is. If he's in my weight class, he's in my weight class. And you ain't seen nothing until you seen a 15-year-old who's 200 plus pounds,
right?
6'1", and been training since he was like 4 with his father, lifelong martial artist.
Roundhouse a brick off your head.
On God.
You start feeling
you don't
bad,
even
like,
feel it. Like
fighting a little kid. This nigga come in here, take his shit off.
Yeah, nah.
Right?
Voice sounded like Mike Tyson.
Bro, it's about the time of experience.
Yeah.
It's about the length of experience, never the age.
Yeah.
The nigga been doing it 14 years and you've been doing it 7. Yeah. It don't matter how old he is.
Twice as
unless it was a God-given gift. That
even
you
then,
discovered late, you still gonna have issues. Like people talk about Mayweather and why he was so good. Bro, this nigga was throwing punches since he was 3 years old.
but he's also God gifted.
Who's the top dog now? Javante, 7 years old.
He's also God gifted. Crawford.
What part of them do you see as like that's a gift and that's not just skill?
Because there's an instinct to getting out of the way and knowing when to punch, and you can't really teach that.
Yeah, but does that not come from doing it for 20 years?
For some, but 20 years in fighting, you over. Like by the time, if it take you that, you're done. We talking about people who have a developed instinct, and habit, and some people
genetics
are just naturally better at certain shit, and there's no getting around it. Like Jordan, there are plenty of people with his height, his weight, who work out his hard.
Jordan, right?
But look what he did. You think they were doing it because they didn't do Jordan's moves because they didn't want to? No, they didn't do it because they couldn't. Like his instinct for doing certain shit is just what it is. There's certain people who
I'm always thinking about shit like that. Like how much is like, because I preach like, go put your shots up. Right. That's my preaching. But sometimes it be like, damn, even if a nigga do everything you did, they probably still wouldn't have the same result as me because there's a piece that's just like, it wasn't even about the shots necessarily, you know? So it's like, how much of that can you really contribute to skill? Or
God's gift plus hard work, plus the 10,000 hours.
I think the art is different. Because art, Your art develops around your life experiences. And if somebody don't have the same life experiences, like somebody from the suburbs could have been rapping all their life, and they just ain't gonna have the same type of rhythm as somebody who's been around it and heard it every single day since they was born. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, it's funny because it's a lot of that's what it is. There's a lot of highly skilled rappers that don't have the divinity, I guess you would say.
Charisma, the it factor.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just something missing. You can't teach. So if you ask me, you know, what's the difference? When you've been looking at it long enough, it just
stick out.
Look what he was able to do. Me and him grew up in the same kind of environment, went to the same kind of school, did this, this. But for some reason, his reflex when he just thinks a punch is coming to slip the right way out of the way every time Floyd Mayweather doesn't get hit.
And counter.
He don't get hit. He's the best defensive fighter like ever. He doesn't get hit. And I've seen him. I watch his fights like from
which be crazy. The
dude will be right in front of him.
That shit insane.
Throwing everything but the kitchen sink, and Floyd is.
You know how crazy it is to have hundreds of fights and barely get hit. Like that's the only way you can have hundreds of fights. If you don't get hit, you can't fight that long if you get hit.
Rocky don't last long. In real
Hell
life.
no.
That's why you said. That's why you said like 20 years. I'm like,
he had to get that shit as a kid.
Look, Rocky's in a wheelchair in real life.
Mike Tyson is made to fight. Being that solid, like that diesel, but moving like that, being able to move the way he does and get out the way and generate that much force.
Yeah.
There's been people who were bigger than him, heavier than
but not just that, there's a heart factor. He was from Brownsville. He's fighting grown men since he was like early teen.
Culture.
You know what I mean?
You can't teach that either.
If I had to fight a dude in the hood that could shoot me or stab me later on and we had to get it on and this was a grown man, you put me in front of somebody my age, what you think is gonna happen? I'm gonna demolish this thing.
Right.
It's over. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a different, I think you develop an instinct. But for some people, it's just in your blood. Like,
look at Nas. Look at Nas. How many people grew up in Queensbridge projects in his same era, his same time frame? They don't sound like him. They don't reach for words the way he does.
Who was his father?
But that's my point. God, that's a God-given talent. Your father was a jazz musician.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
He's got an innate talent to do certain things and hear music a certain way.
Well,
right?
His mother was a teacher, right?
Rakim plays piano, jazz piano. And everybody will tell you Rakim is the forefather of Nas, but look at
the connection.
There's a dude who right now will tell you, I went to high school with Nas. Me and him was in the same classes. I cannot rhyme like that. Nothing I write sounds anything like that, ever. And I tried. It's something in the water. Nah, it's something in the blood. He called it earlier. He said divinity. Some of us are God-gifted at certain things, and there's no getting around that. The worst thing you can do is ignore it. When you find it, you ignore it.
Right?
Yeah,
you don't think it's cool enough, sexy enough, whatever. You want to do something else.
People discouraging you, saying it's not going to work. Whatever.
There's a lot of people trying to be rappers who have a God-given talent someplace else. But because that talent ain't the sexy thing right now, they'd rather steer away from it and run into this thing head first. And every time they run into disappointment or pain behind it, they lean on a cliche. Well, you got to pay your dues. I'm just paying. Nah, maybe this ain't for you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You might be numeric. I know a dude who does long division in his head, like this. I suck at math, but he does this. But when he does other stuff.
What?
Don't.
What was it?
I'm gonna leave you alone.
Don't.
I missed it.
Yeah, leave it where it is. It's because your brain's not wired that way. Just be happy. Consider yourself lucky. Remember I said some people have an innate gift?
Yo, stop that shit. Stop that shit right now. Because if I'd have said something like that, you would have been like, "Gat, you're not gonna pause him? You're not gonna pause him again?" Speaking of gifts, though, today we got One of my favorite guys.
Come on.
One of my favorite guys. He should have been in the shop the first time. My apologies. He should have been in the shop the first time. Look, there's like every single day when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing bad news. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this. And for some reason, every time I get to a Larussell post, it's like, yo, look at this nigga. Oh, shit. It's like a sickness.
A little break. It's a little
break. The laugh,
break
the smile, the people around you just looking like they're having a great time. Look, we got the positive energy god in the building, Larussell. Straight from the Bay.
That's a good title to possess.
Positive energy god. Word. Facts.
Until you feeling down. Somebody's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Cheer up.
You know what's crazy? Even when I be feeling low, people still experience that because that's just like my innate state. You feel me? Like, yeah, I don't feel like outwardly I'm ever like not the positive energy guy outside of like my home. You feel me?
Right.
But it'd be natural, like human, you know, like I said, when we stepped out and Rose like, you can't not. You feel me?
Right. Fact. It's contagious.
It's contagious.
All right, so the last time I saw you was up to like maybe your 12th album?
Probably then. Yeah.
He's not keeping count.
Yo, he's in the 30s now.
Yeah.
He's not keeping count.
Road to 100.
Road to 100.
Road to 100.
Is that like
100
the cutoff
pieces of real estate.
Is that the cutoff point? Like, all right, I got 100 of them things. I'm gonna just.
Nah, I just feel like it's like one of them. It's just like you get 100. That's just different. That's history in itself.
Right.
Agreed.
Right. That catalog is like.
That's history in itself.
How fast does it take you to put together a project?
A day.
Whole project.
Yeah, depending on like what it is, like the depth of the project. Like most of my albums, we made the Hit Boy shit in a day. Motion was made in a day. Most of my albums, out of my 30, half is made in a day. The other half is like
Pieces.
These songs were probably pieced together. But since like 2021, when we start kind of hitting that motion, all the albums really been like a day too. Like it's done in that same week and we come into the world.
How many songs each album?
Like 7 or 10. Yep. Some will get a little more extensive and you get like the last project Live in 206 was like 18, 19 tracks. But we made all that music while we was at our residency in Seattle. So we spent a week in Seattle. Every song I made, I just shared it, docked the whole process, and it's like that's the album.
Wow. All right.
You make a lot of people look real lazy. You make a lot of these dudes look lazy as fuck.
Right? And some people be trying to like use the narrative like, well, you can't make great music in that amount of time and yada yada. But it's like, bro, I wrote Do That Little Dance and 20 Shots and Perfect in a matter of 15, 20 minutes. And those songs is like, nigga, we performed them at the festival and shit stopped. Right. You feel me? So it's like it ain't about the time; it's just the effort that went into it.
You want me to keep it a buck with you? If you told me you made an album in a day and I had never listened to your shit, and I'm sitting at a desk, I'd probably dismiss you. I probably wouldn't listen.
Right.
Because the original feeling is, if you didn't take your time to even put quality into this, why am I taking my time to listen to it? Like, why should I respect something that you're treating like microwave? The difference is, had you have told me I made this in a day, I wouldn't have believed you after listening to it. You dig what I'm saying? Right. It don't sound like that.
Bro, we was in the stew one time, and I started writing. One of the homies was in there, and I came out, and he was like, you thought all that shit right now? Like, I wrote the verse in like 15 minutes and went, and it was one of that, like, I'm talking life. And it'd be like, it's no like, I'm not like just doing it for the sake of time trying to get through it. It's like, if I don't write no shit, then I'm like, I fuck with that, whatever, it's dismissed. But sometimes it be shit that's like, bruh, Song Cry. I just wrote a record named Song Cry, you know, off whole shit. And it's one of them like, it's one of them records that's like, nigga, we don't hear niggas rap like this ever. That was a 10-minute. You feel me? Like, it's just, I'm in it. When I'm in it, I'm engaged and I'm in it.
Right.
How many verses do you put on?
One, but I rap for You know, it's like, it's one verse, but that motherfucker go 4 or 5 minutes sometimes.
He's one of them guys, like, I'm going to stop when I'm
done.
Facts.
Oh, God.
Facts.
Oh, God.
Motherfuckers be getting mad at that shit. Nah, man.
Right?
Because it's not,
that's how you
because
feel.
when most people do it, it's not interesting. That's the problem.
Right.
Like, you're like a gift and a curse all at the same time. The problem is what you do works for you. But if you were to tell somebody else to do it, it will come out fucked up.
I think certain people can do it if they got it. I got a little homie, his name Malachi. Dog. Like, he's one of them ones. And I took him with me to LA. I was making a few albums. When I did the album with Hit Boy, album with Pilo, every time I got in the studio, I said, start writing. If you ready when I'm done, get on there. Right. I did probably like 15 songs in that span of 2 days. He was on 10 of them. Like, you know, and it was verses that was like, he going. So I think it takes a certain amount of skill before you can do it, right? It's like when you pay a plumber and that nigga charge $500 an hour, he's not charging you for the hour. He charging you for all the years he spent to be able to do that bitch in an hour.
I saw that Picasso quote.
Right?
Too. Yeah, I saw that. But how many homies do you have?
A bunch.
Right.
That's
You only
like
got
that.
one that
That's
can do
like
what
that.
you do.
Yep.
Right.
I got a few.
Okay, but out of a bunch,
But yeah.
you just named me like 3.
Right.
See what I'm saying? But the problem is, them other 20, 30 dudes, well, he don't write, so I ain't writing. He wrote it in 10 minutes, I'm writing it in 10 minutes.
Right.
He don't
gotta
even
really do
he
what
don't
works
memorize this shit. I'm not memorizing shit. And then they flood.
Right.
When Hov told everybody he don't write, and Biggie and got out that Biggie didn't write his shit down, I was working at the Source, bro. We was flooded with niggas.
But you know what though? It's like,
but
it's because like, if you want to be Jordan, you're gonna go do everything Jordan did because you like that's how I become Jordan, not fully understanding. Because I be like now, it's almost like everybody punch in. Like that's that has become the standard way to record. I've never recorded like that in my life. I gotta sit and write it, and I'm gonna lay this whole down in one take, and we in there. You feel me? But it's like that's now the norm. Like even audio engineers have became a different caliber than what they used to be because they now have to, you know, it's like it's such a different process. But that's through like that influence. Like niggas like, man, I want to be Wayne, I want to be Hov, so I'm gonna do exactly what they did, not understanding that, well, before he did that, he did that because he had to do this, so he has a different experience that cultivated that skill.
Maybe he's just different.
Shout out to the big homie Clark Kent.
So stop.
Shout out to the big homie Clark Kent.
Salute.
He told me the story in the studio when I was wild young about Biggie and Jay-Z not writing. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna be great, I gotta be like these niggas. And there'd be times I go in the studio and I would shock a motherfucker. He'd be like, okay, the beat was playing. I ain't see him write nothing down. Oh, he one of them Biggie niggas. He one of them Jay-Z niggas or whatever. But the shit come out good. And then going into battle rap, listen to motherfuckers' rounds and coming up with a 8-bar rebuttal right after that. Like, that shit came in handy. But it's everybody can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful thing.
There's
man.
levels. I just wish people would appreciate the levels more.
Do people look at you like you got 3 heads when you're in the studio doing that shit?
Yeah, we be getting that shit on camera too. Niggas be even like we went and worked with Warren G and we loaded some new shit up. I'm like, we're gonna do this. I had that shit done so fast. That nigga was like, you know, like it's a, but it's just a different skill. And some niggas, like I say, with the punching are highly skilled where you be like, that shit got it. But it's like a lot of people start at the amateur level and they like, I'm gonna do what the pros do already. And it's like, you don't have that ability yet.
Yeah, shoot them shots.
The 10,000 hours means something.
Oh God,
it means something.
It does.
Oh God,
like mastery of anything takes 10,000 hours. That should mean because mastery plus a God-given gift plus drive turn into one of these.
When did you know you had it?
He trying to be modest. You trying to come up with the modest answer like, I can't say right from the start.
Hey, you know, that's the thing. It's like, it's really some shit you always know. You just don't know what it is. I was always a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, since a youngin', like, some people back then was like rappers, and then I was a nigga who was rapping, who had the studio and made beats and engineered. And you feel me? Like, it was always a little bit more than what was around me. So I kind of knew, but you don't really know what that is. Like, when you growing up in a hood, that's just like a nigga who a little more advanced. You feel me? But it's nothing special at that time.
Well, you think everybody can do it when you're not really.
Yeah, you think
don't,
like why
it
you
take you a minute before you realize exactly.
If
you think, and sometimes that be like, that's like the downfall of some relationships and shit, because you think that people can do it or they should do, because you like, no, nigga, it's easy. And it's like, it's easy for you because you a certain nigga.
Meanwhile, he's struggling like a motherfucker to come up. The first time my brother...
you done gave him 16 suggestions.
Yeah. First time my brother dunked a basketball, like, he just, bang. I looked at him, and he's shorter than me. He, like, crashed it. And I looked at him like, shit. And he looked at me like, you can't do that?
Right.
Almost. No, nigga. No, you think I've been playing all this time and like not. I always wonder why you just never. Why don't you do that?
Right. Beck was like, I don't feel like it.
Right.
I don't feel like it today.
I looked him dead in the face. Was like, how the fuck did you? Could you always do? He was like, I didn't know that you couldn't do that.
Right.
He looked at me and said, I didn't know you couldn't do that. I thought everybody could do that. I was like, when did you start that? I don't know, shit. I mean, it's right there. I stopped playing right there.
Right.
Go away. Go away.
It's discouraging.
That's hella funny.
Go away. It's discouraging. Great
it's
talents.
Right there.
Great talents at times are discouraging to other people. Because they're like, I don't know if I'm going to catch up to that. That's tough.
It's a heavy crown to wear, too, because you have a responsibility now to maintain this level. When you dip below, there's always gonna be somebody who's like, he phoned that one in.
Ain't it crazy? Like once you become great at any which thing, it's almost like you have to remain great at it for an extended period of time. You know, which is crazy because when niggas do it that you didn't really expect to do it, you don't have those same expectations at all. You like, oh yeah, he made it. We'll see him. He'll be banging a little bit. But what the greatness is like,
he's gone.
You know?
Yeah, he's gone.
And you're playing there now. You're officially playing in that realm. Like you're like the generation that's up now. Like you're in the next class, as independent as you are, as prolific as you are. I'm not kissing his ass, but all I'm telling is the truth. As prolific and independent and all this other stuff that you're doing, are you ready for what comes next? You've seen what it looks like. Your greatness adjacent. You're looking at all the stuff that comes behind being great. Right. You think about, you got like your unit is, you're moving around with a small entourage.
Has your circle started to change?
Definitely. I think my life is always, greatness is like a mold. And my life is always just like water in it. So it's always kind of forming to something. That mold naturally. Like I can't even fight some things. Some things just literally pushes itself out of my way. There's some things I got to pull out the road, but some shit just
moves.
It just moves.
Right. Whether you want it to or not?
No matter how much I want it to or not, it's going to move. And that's kind of been all throughout my journey. There's been like divine things happening in moments that I don't have the full ability to have a say to make the decision. You feel me? Like life would do it.
Give us an example.
I remember when I was I don't even want to give an example of this one, but life just say it, bro. Come on.
Say it, one story. You got one. All right, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Boo. Well, we take the 5-minute break.
Right.
All right, So the last time you was out here, I remember a lot of the guys that were familiar with your music from out here was like, yo, he rap like niggas on this side. He rap like this on niggas on this side. And to a certain extent, your beat selection reflected that. But through the, you know, in between the time, you know, this interview and that one, I noticed that you really, really started embracing the bass sound. Like, like the heavy bass, the you know what I mean? Like you're evolving to like, all right, now I'm the face of this area. You know what I mean? Now I make this is the sound of the bass, and we embrace it. After seeing Kendrick and the Not Like Us shit take off, how you feeling? Are you feeling like, okay, yeah, the lane is opening up for this now?
I feel like the lane's always been open.
Right.
I feel like Not Like Us is a product of that lane existing for so long.
Right.
Like that sound is the sound. You feel me? That doesn't exist without what we do as a region, which is why he had 40 narrating the show. You feel me? Like, man, the lane's always been open. And it's beautiful to see one of our greats utilize it and show the world like, bro, the bass sound is the global sound. Like, it's the sound that, bro, when we're just walking, nigga pulled up and he said, Big Fish, you could tell by the fin. I'm in Harlem. You feel me?
Right.
He's singing Motion. That's some bass shit. That's some bass shit.
Right.
And he out slapping that shit too because it's such a universal sound because it just feel good. Like, no matter what Kendrick was saying on Not Like Us, that shit was gonna go. Right. Like, the feeling was already there. So he just needed to, you feel me?
Sprinkle a little something on it.
Exactly.
Oh, man. All right. Now, you said you was at a show. We haven't talked about this yet. The Pop-Out. When I watched the show, and it excited me in a way that was like, yo, he rapping.
Yeah.
He's rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It don't look like he came with the dance moves and all that. He's rapping. The whole show, he's rapping. And I was like, yo, this is, to see that being received by the masses.
Nigga.
You feel what I'm saying?
It's real. Like, we have been bamboozled to believe that success looks a certain way within hip hop. Right. And it's like, that's not what our greats experience. Like, man, when I go and do shit and we like get them crowds that really get in and we rap, and it's like the chills you could feel in them spots and the cheers, like it's like being Kobe up there. It's like some niggas make it to the league, but they never get in the game, and some niggas become LeBron, and it's like that's just a, man, I hate when I go to rap shows and niggas ain't rapping. I be like, where are we at? Niggas ain't rapping at rap shows.
They just singing all day.
Niggas ain't rapping at rap shows.
Oh,
what happened?
God. Right.
We don't even rap at rap shows.
What's going on?
The only genre, the only art form that can get away with that. You can't go to a culinary school and nobody's cooking.
And nobody cooks.
These niggas got microwaves. Nigga. Is that a hot bake oven?
It's like going to a basketball game and they play the game on the TV. It's like, nigga, what are we doing?
Facts.
What are we doing? But it's like we become so acceptive of that as a coach, because we'll still buy the tickets. Like, no one's making a complaint like, bro, this shit ain't it.
Why do you think that is? How do you think we got here?
Because we're just kind of conditioned to accept whatever we're given, because whatever we're given is a luxury. You know, so it's like, until you giving something else, like, I've ruined rap shows for some niggas, because it's like, after you come to our shit, you feel me? It's like I literally had a fan come up the other day and said she went to a show and she was like, bro, I was like, this shit ass. You get spoiled when you come to our shows. It's like, we really rap and we really engage with the people in the show. It's like a real experience. You feel me? Bro, I don't know what the fuck happened, like where it turned, because all the OG niggas rap. Like you have to. You look crazy going up there and not rapping. But we got to a point where niggas feel comfortable and get paid thousands of dollars to go up there, and it's like that shit robbery.
But
So niggas doing walkthroughs for shows. That's what it's like.
Yeah, we've had rappers come in this room tell us it's not that serious.
Who?
Lyrics ain't that serious.
Who said that?
21 laughed at us when we talked about having a cipher. We talked about ciphering.
Oh yeah,
like,
the cipher. Okay, the cipher.
I be standing outside rapping.
He's like Atlanta niggas don't do that, man.
Well, he said we don't do that shit. But I think he's more talking about his class versus his specific city. I think he's talking about
because I think that element of hip hop existed in every region. Right. Like nigga, that Houston, Atlanta is like niggas who came up on here. That's how Pimp C and all that. That's how it started. Niggas just rapping. Niggas in a circle in a lab rapping. You feel me? That's always been a part of it. Except this newer gen. Like it's not. It's just not the same base of ingredients that get them to become a rapper.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You feel me? Like it's a different thing that's making them choose to rap now than what it used to be.
Moved at some point. And said, okay, this is the score right now.
I think fame became more important than talent. Mm-hmm. I think fame became more important than talent for most people.
Yeah.
And under the banner of I'm not a rapper, I'm a hustler, anything you do as a hustle becomes fair game. So any way you get to the bag becomes fair game. And it doesn't matter if I'm trashing an art form or
you sound just like the last guy that was up there.
You get to feel like you winning without winning in today's time, right?
Big participation trophy.
Immortal Technique told me there's two ways you could go. You could follow a trend, which might equal a lot of money and attention. Or you can stay true to yourself and you might not have as much fans. But the difference is when that trend changes or someone else does it better than you, you lose all your fans because they're only fans of a trend. They're not there for you. They're there for the trend. But the people you keep it 100 with, they're gonna rock with you forever.
Right.
And I feel like that's why a lot of the old school guys are still touring. Still,
it never goes away.
20 years later, there's still people in Germany paying $100 a ticket. Like,
it never
still there.
goes away.
Right.
Wu-Tang is prime example.
Right.
Wu-Tang.
It never goes away.
That whole run, the whole the Wu, Busta, and Nas, that tour, that shit was jam packed every night. Everybody came out to. Talent doesn't. If you got standards are made because they maintain with the times. They don't change to fit them. If you get used to eating, I use this analogy all the time. If you get used to eating at a 5-star restaurant, somebody can't tell you that McDonald's is the shit just because it's more popular.
Right.
It's more popular, sure. It sells more, absolutely, 100%. You like it, I love it for you. However, there's a Michelin star chef over here. I'm going over there.
That's Wagyu beef over there. It's imported from a private farm.
Right.
I'm telling you, you're not gonna get that at the supermarket.
Right.
Like there are no flies at this farm. You understand what I'm saying? Like the cows.
All the cows are happy. They're all cheesing right up until the moment it's over.
Yeah, beach balls to play with. Like they're living a life.
You ever see a cow skip? Yeah, that's good beef right there, Paul.
But that's what as connoisseurs we have back and forths with consumers all the time. Consumers tell you it's not that serious. And we, connoisseurs, argue like, no, it is that serious.
Right.
Well, the youth don't do that. The young niggas don't do that. No. There's a dude named Larussell out west. You ain't checked for him. Right. There's a dude named Simba out west. You ain't checked for him. There's a group named Coast Contra out west. You ain't checked for them. There's Marcus Clay in Houston. Southern niggas don't do it. Well, there's Marcus Clay over in Houston. You ain't checked for him. He's right. He's right there. Right. Well, the chicks ain't getting it on like that. Snow the product right over there in LA. All you had to do was go look. I just don't understand why that
Aaron
argument
Ross in New York?
Please, thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
There's a Shaw Summers in New York. There's a Demo in New York. There's Axel Leone in it. Like, it's all right there. All you got to do is check.
But it's because that's what they don't put in the front of the supermarket, you know?
Facts.
And that's how it's always going to be until they exist in the front of the supermarket, in the main area you shop. That's just how it's going to be. And
How do we get there when you don't own the supermarket?
you don't.
Mm.
I think if you don't want to go work with the supermarket, then you shouldn't wish for things that come with the supermarket.
Speaking of working with the supermarket, last time we talked, you sent a message out to someone.
Yeah.
Very important. And you were like, nah, I need to talk to him.
Yeah.
What is staff doing? Like, the people that work for you are a reflection of you. Like,
Right.
did you ever get that conversation?
No.
No.
What are we talking about? You want to clear that up?
I think
Jay-Z.
it'll happen. The universe will align it if it's meant to happen.
If it's meant to happen.
It might be one of those things where a nigga like, fuck that nigga. You know, and I understand that too. Shit, I get both sides of it. So
Right.
you feel me? No, it didn't happen. But yeah, I understand whether it does or whether it doesn't. You feel me?
Run the situation for me.
He got a Rock Nation contract with no numbers in it. Yeah. I mean,
like to
I'm
move
sure
forward, though.
I'm sure someone made a mistake.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's a representation of your business. So
Yeah. I'm not sure if someone made a mistake or not, but you feel me? It's just like
Contract with
it
no
is what
numbers
it
on it.
is. But I get it. You know, even then, like I'm grateful for any attempt to help that anyone has given me. You know, at this point, like back then, I felt the way because of who it is and how it was. But it's like, that shit don't even be personal. A nigga was probably just trying to help in a way that he seemed fit. But for me, it wasn't fit. You feel
Right.
me? So it's like, it is what it is.
Since then, though, you've done business with Live Nation, correct?
Yeah.
How was
Okay.
that? How was it?
Not Rock Nation, though. Live
Live
Nation.
Nation,
Live
right.
Nation is the live performance
The
promotion.
touring,
Right.
the touring.
Rock Nation is like a bridge
The management.
between Live Nation and Rock. No, they're completely different entities.
No, Rock Nation
Right.
is more management, right? And then Live Nation.
Rock
is
Nation
touring.
is a label.
I never looked at them like a label.
Rock Nation is a full service label.
That
They
makes-
have artists signed to them.
That
Yeah.
I was always under the impression that there was more of management. I don't know.
They do management as well, but they got a full label with artists. Yeah.
People, to the artists who are watching this, just remember, the culture of business is not to help you. The culture of business is to make the best deal possible for yourself. For yourself. Not for the person across the table from you. It's for you. You're supposed to make the best deal you can for you. And it doesn't matter how ignorant the other person is, how unknowledgeable they may be. The goal is to make the best deal for you. And there's nothing personal in that. So if somebody is coming at you with a contract that doesn't have any numbers in it, you have to understand that they're doing that because they believe this is the best thing that they can do for them. And they think they can get away with it. They're trying it because they think it's going to work.
I mean, and
Yeah,
when
I wanna say for the
when you
record,
go high level,
Mac, I told you write those numbers in, so don't put me in that category. You know what I'm saying? I told him write it in. You get that, right? Just write it in.
Everybody's supposed to do what's best for them.
and
Right.
when you go high level, like it's just an offer, right? And it
Right.
is no deeper than the offer. For me, it's deeper than the offer because I'm who I am. So it's like if I go offer something, I'm going to be, you know, even with my young homies that it's like it's a different situation we've aligned because it's like I care. And not to say that a nigga don't care, but it's just like everybody does differently with their business.
The research should have told them to offer you something different than what they did based on your background, based on what you bring in, et cetera, et cetera. Business-wise, the offer came across uneducated, coming across like they don't know who you are.
Right.
Am I right?
But sometimes
Agree or disagree?
see,
This is the part that had me like, I don't fully agree because when the second offer came, it was more reflective. It was just like, Why isn't this the one I received initially? Right? That was the only part that had me like, it's already a discomfort.
Right.
And since it's this discomfort, and I ain't got to talk the whole or nothing, the whole process, like a nigga done hit me like, man, I want you to come over here, nothing. But I also understand that it's like you empower people to run that side of it. It was just like, it just wasn't for me.
Because when you think about it, because I've been in negotiations with certain situations, and just the way it was handled, even though it might have gotten to a point where I could consider what you're offering, the way it was handled and knowing that we would be engaged in business
Make sure I'm
for a couple of years and you handle this like this, I wouldn't want to keep going through that.
That's what it was.
So sometimes it is better, you know, if you're a business, to put your best foot forward, because not everybody's, some people believe in themselves. You know what I'm saying? Some people believe in themselves.
Right.
And it's like, nah, I can do better than this. And I'm going to figure out how.
And that's the thing. And I feel like you have that due diligence to do better for those people that are better and believe in themselves. Like when you know something is the next thing and it's like, bro, it's very clear. That's why we here. You know, I think those come with an extra due diligence. That's like, you don't treat it like everything else. But I guess some would say it's like you do. You treat it like, you know, everybody's different in their perspective on it.
Calculated risk. And somebody made a calculated risk and they bet wrong. They bet wrong. Somebody thought that maybe I can get away with this. Maybe they didn't do the research. Maybe they just handed you something blank just because, hey, fuck it. Let's just get him in here.
But it always depends on your situation.
Totally.
Like, if you're not self-sustained, or you know you're having nightmares of the bills to come, sometimes it's like, I feel like I gotta take this and figure it out.
Man, I was like still in that state during that time. You feel me? It was like I was still in a working state. You feel me? It's like I didn't take that deal and I had to go show. Do you feel me?
Right.
Put more work in. So I wasn't in a state where I was comfortable or able to chill. It was just like it wasn't worth that risk. You feel me? Because the thing is, like, once you sign a deal, you kind of stop your motion for a bit, depending on how the relationship is going into the deal. Like, you know, it'd be a hindrance to a lot of artists, because now you got to wait to get indoctrinated into a system. And then you have to, it's a different process now with you releasing. Instead of you just releasing, you got to submit it. And submit it with this, and then they got to go. It's just...
sometimes it's a month turnaround to get a budget for a video.
Or longer.
And it might have been a song that was supposed to hit
time.
Right then and there.
Perfect
moments.
But you got to wait for that budget or spend your own bread and kind of wait till they hit you back with it later. Joyner Lucas was here and he was talking a lot about that and how much he kind of like loathed the situation that he was in. Because he felt like because he was a rapper, a lot of people didn't believe in him. And on top of that, the business and the structure of it didn't make sense for what was going on right now.
Yeah, and I think that's for any artist who's a rapper's rapper. It's like the music business is built around hit songs. Like that's what they want, because that's what brings in all the money. And they like the passive rappers revenue and that too to come around, but they like the hits, because they like, nigga, we could flip 1 million and make 100.
Right.
Off this one, we're gonna give you 1 million and we might make 4. But if we put it in that one, we're gonna make 100. And somebody had to break that down to me to like, it's like any investor is gonna look like that. If I could spend 1 and make 100 or 1 and make 10, I'm gonna probably choose 100 if I'm in a money-driven state. If I'm one of these niggas who like, nah, I'm in the business to, you know, because I'm passionate, then I'm gonna take the 10 because it means more to me. But them niggas is like, bro, we turning 1 to 100, nigga.
1 to 100. But the problem with that is the life expectancy on that is not as long as
it's not sustainable.
The guys who
they don't need it
who
to
are
be.
Still touring 20, 30 years later.
Because they made 100. They like, nigga, with this 100 that I took off 1, I'm gonna make 10 more that's gonna last me the next, you know? So it's like, there's several ways to get to 30 years, right? One is like straight 30, one is 5 years 6 times, one is 10 years 3 times. Right. You feel me? So you get to determine how they want to get there. They're just taking the shorter route to get to the same destination.
Right. I think the problem we're running into now is the shorter route is the one is the only one that they're interested in. They're not going after the guy who's gonna have a 10, 20-year career and you're being business with him for the life of his career because you're treating him right. He's making $4 million, you're making $4 million, everybody's happy. You profiting 8.
It's probably a bigger risk.
But if I get, and this is the most insidious part of it for me, is the fact that the thing that made me $100 million at one time, I can find that dude anywhere. Anywhere. I can manufacture 100 of those.
Yeah.
And I can find those every place.
And they do.
And keep making that same 100. Meanwhile, this other dude has had a career for 20 plus years. Doing his 1, 2, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 100 albums later. Millions and sold, millions this, millions that.
But the thing is like, having one nigga who made 100 million versus having 100 niggas who made 30, it's like their math is like, nigga, that don't add up for what we after.
It just feels like greed to them.
It is.
It feels this pure greed.
It is.
And
it definitely is.
It's a culture killer. Greed kills culture. You can't. Those two don't mix.
Right.
They don't mix because culture is not something you can microwave.
That's why we got to be cautious on who we sell culture to. But like back then when they was selling everything, niggas, that was the first time niggas was realizing they could sell their companies, you know, after they built something, they're like, nigga, you gonna write me a check for 100 of them things? So it's like, of course, like, but going forward, it's like that shit that we have to be cognizant of. And we often do it. Like Timberland and Swiss is just now getting verses back because it's like they sold culture. And it's hard to turn down 100 M's.
Right. Yeah.
I was looking something up.
How do you even argue with that? It's hard. You gonna tell somebody to turn down 100 million?
You gonna tell a nigga,
how you argue with it? It's the right thing to do, but how am I gonna tell you to turn down?
You can't.
100 million.
You can't.
It's almost culturally, it's the right thing to do. Culturally, it's the right thing to do. Versus was a cultural moment. Fed a bunch of people. We were getting in touch with our legends again, introducing eras all over the place. You get to see Red and Meth, Shaka Khan, and all the Isley brothers. It was fucking beautiful.
It'd be even bigger now if they would have kept it Indian ran their race. It'd be even bigger.
But how do you tell somebody to turn down 100? If you've never had 100 million,
right?
How you tell somebody to turn it down?
You don't.
Not with a clear conscience.
How do you tell them to turn it down? You tell them to be like, yo, there's 200 over there.
They like, but it ain't right here.
But it ain't right.
It ain't right here.
Right.
This one right here.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That shit is scary, bro. When somebody put like a huge check in front of you and you like,
bro, when you think like I said, when I've gotten some offers that was like, this would be nice right now. you know, and it's like if that's happening with these amounts and they not nearly that, it's like, bro, 100 million in front of you, that make your fucking head spin, nigga.
Ain't gotta give it back, ain't gotta pay nothing.
Man, that'll make your head spin.
Yeah.
Take everything. That's what niggas be like, take everything. I'll buy a new one of all of it. Take everything. You feel me? Like it's a tough task. And it's not for everybody. But it's why we are where we are. It's like Def Jam is owned by Universal.
Crazy.
Now ran by Republic.
Right.
How does that, we talking about Def Jam.
Def Jam.
How that makes sense?
Mm-hmm. From a cultural standpoint, it doesn't. You never should. BET is owned by Viacom. There was a time when that was our shit. Like, and it was us.
Right? And I'm always like, man, niggas is supposed to partner and do deals and get bigger, you know, but it's just like we still trying to figure out the way to that. You feel me?
Right. Well, you do business a little bit different from the traditional artists. You do a profit sharing system.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for me?
Come on, man. We do revenue shares. We actually now with our newer investors, like we open up to doing booking revenue and just different forms of revenue, merchandise revenue. But yeah, I started off doing the split shit, royalty shares, and allowing people to buy into them and just giving them to people in the community. And man, just this past year, we did over $100,000 in payouts. Didn't even notice, you know, like we was looking for something on the distro, and we all looked at the shit, and I was like, damn,
that's crazy.
Just in the background.
Right. In the background.
In the background.
Right. So people will, let's say, so walk me through the process. You create the record. Or you create the project.
So every record that I create, once it go to distribution, it's a chance for, if you love it and you like, man, I would love to just have a percent of that song and make anything when it generates money. Right. We created a link, you know, on all of my socials. There's a link that says invest in Larussell or buy shares in a song. You click that link, put your information in, put your budget, what you're willing to spend, and the amount you want. And if it aligns with us, we'll hit you from there and say we could do this for this, or we can do this percent. Once the payment is sent and the docs is finalized, we input it into the distro. You start getting paid perpetually every month.
Wow.
Hey, the split list.
It's crazy.
It's a lot of niggas getting paid perpetually every month. And we just getting started. Like, you know, I got 400,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. That number is infinite, right? Drake's is in hundreds of millions. It's an infinite number as long as you keep going. So it's like, for the rest of my life, this is the smallest I'm going to be for the rest of my life today. You feel me? Right. So it's like, bro, it gets to a point where it's like,
right.
And I keep making more albums. Every time I make an album, I increase a stream of revenue. Every time I release a song, I open 100 new streams of revenue. Because every song got 100% of royalties you can distribute. So every time I drop a song, I can sell every percent of that song if I want to. I can do 5 here, 10 there. So every song gives me another 100 doors to open. Say I sell every single share, and at the minimum was $100. You feel me? It's like off one song that took me 15 minutes to make that someone loves because they heard and they like, I fuck with that shit.
Well, how does that work with the collaborative projects like Hit Boy? Is Hit Boy down with the program? Like,
same. So everybody I work with, we have a talk. Literally in the school, I'm like, nigga, this how I do my shit. This is what I like to do. This is how I want to run a race. You good with this? You good? We good? We do that shit. Send it through.
Bang bang.
Easy. Hit Boy, and I commend Hit Boy because as a producer in the industry, easy. Seem like that's why the project was able. We made the project in a day and it came out weeks later. All the content, everything. Like easy, seamless. And that's usually when I run into producers, if that's not how niggas want to work, I just pass it. You feel me? Because like that's the flow I like to be in.
Hit Boy, pull up.
Yeah, him and Big Hit.
That'd be dope.
You playing games, man. Come on.
Him and Big Hit.
Yeah,
facts.
for sure.
I fuck with Big Hit. I fuck with Big Hit, man.
I want to talk about all this stuff that he's doing. That man is...
He on a run.
Yeah, he's making amazing moves. I love to see it.
Man, and it's very few niggas you see always working. Like, man, I be hitting them sometimes and he hit me like, nigga, I just seen this because we the two, like, if you going on our socials, it's some new shit happening. It's some, you feel me? Like, he always grind new music songs. Like, we in that same pocket where we really embracing this freedom. And it's like, bro, I make music I love and I release it. There's nothing else around it. That's as simple as it is. I make songs I love and I share them.
Right.
Greed will stop
all that
those
shit.
Processes from
it'll stop all that
being
shit.
that simple, from being that easy. Greed complicates everything.
Everything.
Do you have to keep a leash on your greed? Do you ever have to? It may not be who you are, but do you ever? Maybe I don't give this. Maybe I want more.
Maybe I keep this.
I think naturally, but I'm not really a greedy person. Yeah, I almost share more. I almost share too much at times. You feel me?
I saw the clip with how old was that little girl? Avery?
Avery. Yeah. She
Yo.
like, what, like 10?
She's like 10.
Like 9 or 10?
And she's getting royalties. Official. Official. I was like, yo, that's dope. And it just seems like you're surrounded by a good team, good energy. You're doing things that it just looks like you're having fun all the time, bro. Like, when are you not having fun?
Often. Not I mean, I'll be like in a regular state. I do be I love what I do. So it's like naturally it's hard not to smile when you love what you do. Like I say, even when I'm feeling away, the depth inside of me is like, I love what I do. I'm really a kid at play with all this shit. I get to go walk around like I love it. I'm a kid at play with this shit. It's like I really do. We wake up and do whatever the fuck we want to do. So it's kind of hard to not feel good about that no matter what you going through. And that's how I'm always, that just carries me. You feel me? Like no matter what I got going on, that carries me. I get to wake up and do what I love to do.
Did you ever have a regular job?
Yeah, several.
Where?
FedEx, UPS. I worked at a winery, and then United Technologies, this aerospace plant.
The winery sounds cool.
Hell nah, that's
you said FedEx, UPS, but I'm guessing you worked at UPS before you worked at FedEx.
Yep. UPS
don't pay shit.
UPS was my first job.
Bro, you be there with somebody that don't even speak English. Like, how am I here, bro? Like, what? But
you know what?
If you work for UPS, I'm not judging.
What's crazy, bro? The universe always like aligned me. When I was at UPS, I was a driver helper for the season. I had a cool ass driver. Nigga, we used to just chill. Like, nigga, I'll be writing my raps while I'm on the clock, do my shit, we get out, go knock. It was just, the universe always aligned me in a way where I could continue to just build and grow my craft.
Right. UPS, y'all need to raise y'all pay rate, though.
That nigga.
Y'all definitely need to raise that.
Hey, shout out UPS. Man,
shout out
you know the thing
to
with
UPS
these
workers.
businesses that niggas don't understand until you like really running businesses, it's like, bro, my wage is my wage, but I pay millions of niggas that wage. You feel me? Like niggas, all the wage low is like, you never paid 1 million people. Like, it's different when you got 1, 2, but as you start growing a business and it's niggas that you gotta take care of, it's like, nigga.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having to do it with 1 million people.
That sounds cool till you see the boss's bonus.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
You see the president's bonus and feel like he could give $5,000 to every employee.
Definitely. But the thing is, he who builds the business is he who sets the rules. You feel me? So it's like you can't. I'm just hard pressed to ask a nigga for something that's that's like, I gotta go get my own. See, you feel me? If you want more, you gotta go get your own.
I completely dig that. I'm not even disagreeing with you. What I am saying is, happy employees do good business.
Hell yeah.
Happier employees do good work.
Hell yeah. But more money don't always make a happier employee.
Not always.
It's hard though.
But if you can take a couple of struggles off of somebody's.
But there's some niggas who got good paying jobs and still don't do their fucking job.
Greed. we back around the greed.
But it's a great start. And I think people, I think the whole model of how we do business should go into like royalty share style, you know, eventually. Like that's my goal with my company, to be completely royalty based.
You can pull it off.
Hold that thought. We're gonna take a 5-minute break.
Now say that again.
Yo, Russ be on this J. Cole shit, man. I'll be hearing every now and then he just sending shots like, you want to do a song with me? Why you playing with your life? Like, oh shit.
Hip hop.
Who else on this record?
Hip hop.
Okay, that's 1, 2 niggas playing with their life right now.
Competition without malice.
Right,
I love it,
and that's the
be.
most and that's what we like cultivated within our circle. Like, if you come to my backyard and rap, you know, this is what we do. Is like the most friendliest, loving competition, but everybody want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to go, and that's supposed to be the energy and the spirit. Like, that's supposed to be the energy and the spirit.
Should be.
Right? Hey, I really feel like we've been like reconfiguring the game, you know, as much as we can. Like, when we get niggas to the backyard and we get in the stool with niggas, it be, you know, new space and energy, and niggas go back and take it, because it's, I don't know what happened.
Right, greed. We covered this. It all comes back around to greed. If competing with you threatens my bottom line, and I can't compete with you on a record, the smartest thing for me to do is to make the thing that you do not cool. Disregard, downplay, minimize your skill set, and make it less important than mine, because I can't compete with you. So when you bust my ass on the track, I can turn around and say, I got more money than you.
Right.
That was Drake.
You dope, but you broke. Yeah, you fire, but you broke. Like, all that lyrical shit ain't get you no bread. You broke. You took a bus to get here. I'm taking a Bentley. I get the shit on you. Meanwhile, on the track, you murdering me. Like, I don't stand a chance. You're making everything I do sound remedial. But the way that I can compete with you, oh, bro, I got money. I got more money than you.
What they got?
What a game.
Ain't it?
And it, you know, but it's so embedded in like hip hop that sometimes like lately I'll feel away like when I make songs that's too braggadocious or just boasting. Like, I just be like, it make me, you know, it made me not even want to make like the fun shit and the slaps no more. And I'm trying to figure out different ways to do it. But it's like, it's so ingrained into hip hop to like boast.
Yeah.
But you also can't control how people are going to take your words.
But you know what you own when you write your words.
For sure. But you didn't keep them to yourself. You know what I mean? You let it out into the world. And once you create it, it doesn't belong to you anymore. I became aware of that working at the source, but definitely here, being here, the shit you say, the shit we say in these chairs, I can't control how somebody else took.
Oh God.
Like, bro, that's not even what I was talking about. How did you get that? This nigga MECC said all pit bulls deserve to die. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait, where? I be watching it. Wait, where did it hold? What part did I miss?
Right.
Run the needle back. What did I fucking miss? The way people interpret your shit?
I think you said mutt.
I do say mutt.
And that's mad at you?
Pit bull is a mix.
He's mad at all kinds. I call people mutts.
He called people mutts. That's his favorite word. You mutt.
That's a real mechanism right there. I do. And whenever I said it, I really meant it. You fucking mutt. Like, that's my shit.
Hip hop.
Arden was 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
See, I'm glad.
And we to the world.
I'm glad. I can't tell you how many people I threw out of my office when they tell me shit like that. It felt disrespectful.
That's crazy.
I made this song in 5 minutes.
You made this in a day.
You're like, bro, get out.
Trash.
Nah, it depends, bro.
What I'm telling you is,
I feel you.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I'd rather have your best work.
Yo, but you can sell that too.
If you can convince me that your best work happens in 10 minutes and it's exceptional, I'm open for that. But 9 times out of 10, that was never a thing.
Right.
When I would listen to these songs,
I got a loop, just let it go.
Facts.
All of a sudden, this shit just happened. If you sold it like that,
inspiration.
Like, oh, you caught it.
I was going through a breakup.
The Spirit, the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, you listen. You got inspired. You was in your bag, and it happened. I've seen that a million times too. I never shit on it. But these dudes would come to me, and their whole pitch was, "I'm so dope. This only took me 10 minutes." And then when I listened to it,
It's like it took you 10
I
minutes.
can see that this only
clearly
took you 10 minutes.
MECC is not the guy to tell 10 minutes. Like, he's not the guy. He's going to look for why. It was, see?
Nigga, it wasn't hard to find. That shit was right there.
Some shit be
As soon as you press play, that shit sounded derelict.
But some niggas take days, weeks, months, years to finish
still
a
be
song.
trash.
And it's still be
And then
crazy.
be like, you took
You're
all
like,
that
yo,
time.
all this time, bro.
Bro,
like,
it ain't, because it's not about the time. It's never about the time.
My thing is, if you can do it, do it. If it takes you that long to come up with the Mona Lisa, do it, because you got the Mona Lisa.
On God.
If you did it in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you got an inspiration burst, or maybe you just in your pocket and you wrote a whole bunch of songs real quick, because that's where you was.
Yep.
I'm not knocking that. But these niggas, they're the ones that I'm talking about, these songs sounded like ass.
What's their names?
You want me to remember?
that'd be my question.
I just remember how whack it was. Like, I didn't.
Are they majors?
No. Some the dudes who I've sat in and had NDAs with, and I've listened to most of those dudes. If they tell me it was a quick song, it was inspired by something. They saw something on television, heard something on the radio, got a phone call, saw a text, something inspired it. They wrote it down. Yo, this just happened.
Right.
I was like, oh, I get that. But the timing wasn't the pitch. The timing was never the pitch. The inspiration was the pitch.
Right.
I can't believe how fast I came up with this, but bro, I got this happening, blah, blah, blah. When the pitch is 10 minutes, 5 minutes, that's the pitch.
I made this for 5 minutes.
I'm in trouble.
Play it.
Nigga.
I'm in trouble.
Some niggas be exaggerating though.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have did that.
fact.
You shouldn't have did that either.
Some niggas really exaggerate, like, yo, I did this shit in like 20 minutes. Word. You be like,
bro,
word.
You wrote this song in 5 minutes. We've been sitting in
freestyled
here
it.
for 30. You owe me another 25 minutes. This song is ass. Go get my dry cleaning.
I know the engineers be like, yo, I know he
Whole
just didn't do an interview saying he did this song in 15 minutes. That nigga was in here 15 hours. One verse.
It's just the conditioning is different now. Like, people don't have to go through the same training to
see
get
success.
to It's like my first time recording, I went to the homie's house. His pops had a studio. And he'd make me redo certain things. And he like, when you say it like this, put the emphasis. Like I had a different coaching, even going into it. Like all that shit don't really exist no more. Niggas in the bedroom with a mic from Guitar Center and just go.
Not even the open mics. You don't really see
Man,
those.
I used to hit open mics.
Bruh, I miss open mics.
We got to bring that shit back.
I would just go to be there, just to, you know what I mean?
That's where I met him.
You might find it.
This is where I met this dude. First time
there
I
was
ever saw
dudes
him.
that you probably never heard of. There was like
Jim.
gods.
When they walked in those doors.
Breeze ever
flowing. Oh, Jesus H. Christ.
Yep. He on the name.
God
the name.
on stage.
Yeah.
A God. You didn't have to know who he was. 2 minutes in, you doing the same thing everybody else doing. Bruh.
Amazing.
Because
Not every week,
his cadence,
some fresh shit.
It was just
delivery, the bars.
Bro, it was pristine. Crazy.
Make everybody feel like you got something in your nose.
Nems walk in the building. Oh, here he comes, bro. Yo, it's a party in your mother's mouth and I'm coming. Everybody stop and just pay attention. What the fuck is this nigga doing?
Right. He's been that.
He's been that.
Big
He's
Zoo.
been that.
Shout out to Vice Versus.
Versus.
Shout out to Pro. Poison Pen.
Poison
Swave
Pen.
Sever.
Swave, yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
when Stronghold itself would show up.
Yo, and you know what's funny? They look at me a certain way, but they don't know back then I was looking at them like, oh, I gotta get sharper. I gotta get sharper.
Bro.
I gotta get sharper.
Me,
like
Pat, and Stan in the audience watching the fucking Arsonist for the first time. For the first time. We all looked at each other like, are you seeing this? Like, where the fuck did
we're not
these
going up
niggas
next.
come? Yeah.
We're not going up next. Not this
At
week. Not this
Fuck
week.
that.
Nah. Scratch that song.
But even that, bro, like that's breeding grounds that
Word.
you all of that is removed now. You know, like my backyard is like one of them places, you know, that we've cultivated that, but that shit is removed. It's just,
it's not.
It's kind of wiped out of hip hop, like out of the ecosystem.
Because they can't compete. It still exists. It's just not, like you said, it's not at the front of the grocery store.
In New York, where?
EO Dub still get busy.
EO Dub pops up 3 times a year, bro.
As they can.
That's the thing. It gotta be active. Consistent.
Yeah. Because it was coming there week after week after week after week, and by like week 10, you're getting a response from the crowd, and you're like, "Oh, I think I'm getting it now."
When you can get that consistency, it's like you might not see the result until episode 20, but when it finally kick,
you know what you're doing. You got that confidence. You got that confidence, bro. That's just different.
It's different. You can't. We got MCs now, rappers now, who their whole career exists on rapping to a phone. And you put them in front of people, they have no idea what to do.
Or rapping to their homeboys. They got their back turned to the stage and they like this with their homeboys.
Rapping over the vocal track.
You know what I'm
how do you like, and you know, I guess it's just through like cultivation. Like I've literally seen some of my homies who used to rap that way, and we started bringing them through the backyard, and like niggas go now, you know, because they just didn't know. One of the homies told me one time, he was like, prior to your shows, I didn't even know that people actually rapped at live shows, because every live show he's been to has been done that way.
Right. Music playing, everybody on stage.
Crazy.
Ad-libbing the lyrics on the song.
Over the vocal track, not matching up, yelling at certain points, too quiet at another point, turning your back to the audience.
And people still show up though,
because they don't have anything. They don't have anything. They don't know that it's not supposed to be like this.
Right.
If you grew up in a certain era and you didn't pay any attention to the past, because ageism has infected hip hop worse than it has anything else, which leads our youth to cut off their elders, cut off the elder statesmen, cut off their OGs, and not pay any attention. So you don't go look at a Busta Rhymes, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Nas, Biggie. You're not looking at how those shows went. Biggie in the middle of the crowd doing unbelievable with everybody around him going nuts. You don't see that.
Right.
So you won't know Chino, XL, and Razzcast. You don't know how they get busy.
Right. Or even Party and Bullshit.
That might have been the song I'm talking about.
The part where
we just all get
along? There's a fight and everybody on stage like, oh shit, these niggas fighting. And then can we just all get along? It's part of the show. And you're like, oh shit.
And you know, like that, all that footage.
Shout out to Young M.A. She did that at the show and it caught me. I was on stage. I was like, shit, I got to go break shit up. And my man was like, nah, just watch. And then she started rapping again and everybody was jumping. I was like, oh, okay, I bet.
Showmanship.
It's game tape.
Yeah.
Showmanship.
It's game tape.
If you don't look, if you don't study, then you don't know that that's a thing. And you don't know that that's the key to longevity. So you're just doing what you, or the other thing is, most won't look because they're not interested in it, because they're interested in the fame. It's not being good. Way more rappers today want to be famous more than they want to be good. If you talk to them about being good, they'll tell you I'm lit. I don't need to do none of that shit. That's for y'all niggas.
All right. Until Jada Kiss in a minute. Yo, it's 2023. They don't know the words.
Yeah.
Why they don't know the words?
Right. But you know what's crazy? They never have to experience that though. They never have to experience that shit.
Well, because they're escorted out of the paint before they realize what would have kept them on the court. They're escorted out. By the time they realize, oh shit, KRS-One been rapping for like 30 years.
Man.
Busta Rhymes' career is 30 plus years. I could have been, you know what I mean? I could have been like that. Right. And now you out of here. You only got like 2-3 years in. You was hot for like maybe 1.5 summers and now you gone. Man. And you don't know that this thing that's right under your nose, in the information generation, you literally have it in your hand at all times.
Oh, God.
You can go look and see what made this dude your father's favorite MC, your mother's favorite, your big uncle's favorite MC, and he's still out here, and you still see him, and he's still tearing shit to pieces. You can go look, but because our industry cannibalizes us and turns us against each other with a whole bunch of different things, ageism being the main thing, our youth reject their giants, their teachers, people who could get them past the bullshit. I could show you how to, if you ready.
Because that shit don't be cool to them no more.
That's my point.
Yeah.
They'll look at him and call him irrelevant. You ain't relevant. You ain't getting. I don't hear you on the radio. Meanwhile, you on tour, destroying shit.
Right.
Family don't want for nothing. Kids don't want for nothing.
Right.
Living great lives, but you don't know that because they're not on your channel or this app lit with a bunch of jewelry. And my answer to that lately has been, there's this dude out west. I don't know if you've heard of him, named Larussell. He don't wear a lot of jewelry either.
Right.
But I promise you, everybody knows who this nigga is. You might want to get in tune.
Right.
I'm not sure jewelry actually equals talent because he ain't got none and he got way more than the other thing.
But it is a tool. That'd be the thing. Like, we was walking through the airport one time and there was some niggas in the airport with us had on hella ice. And they called our attention. It was like, hey, what y'all niggas do? You feel me? So it worked as that marketing tool and they understand that shit.
Yeah. Marketing gets you in the door, but talent keeps you in the room.
Exactly.
Right.
It sounds
but
good.
Sometimes marketing gets you in the door and keeps you in the door because niggas like, well, he can market. That's going to make us some money. True. You feel me? So both. Once you in that door, you got that out because they going to get as much out of you as they can before they discard you. It's like a juice box. Every little, for real. I'm interested to see what they do with like an Ice Spice or, a lot of these, the newer ones that's coming in. I'm interested to see what the industry does with them. You feel me?
What it's going to turn into.
Yeah.
Being from the Bay
because like they don't, it's almost like they don't understand that it's a life. Like once it becomes a product, it's like it's a life. This a life.
Because the label itself will start to sink them if they feel like there's another prospect that they could fill that slot with, and they got a better situation on them. Or we got a bigger percentage. The store
gonna put the SKUs in the front that sell the most.
Right.
And they gonna all that other shit. Some shit just go all the way to the back of the warehouse until the nigga come ask if they got it. You feel me?
Stay hot.
But
and that's your job.
But you know what? They'll start to place around that product the things that they get for the low that they can make the biggest flip on. And eventually, once that thing becomes popular enough, they phase out the shit that cost them too much money.
Mm-hmm. That's business 101.
Yeah.
I told you, the culture of business is to make the best deal possible
That's
for you.
life 101 too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? That's life 101. Like as you grow, you start to phase out the things that's like the company growing this way. This is where we going and this ain't in alignment. And so it's like it's natural. Only thing is like when you commodify it, it's just a different game, right? It's business.
But that's what we are now. We're a commodity. We're not a culture. They don't see us as a culture. See us as a commodity.
Right.
What happens with a commodity? When something gets old, burnt out, you replace it. There's no culture. You just replace it. You're living culture. You're living culturally, not business-wise. You're living culturally.
But the culture is also a part of marketing.
You can market culture.
They have cultural advisors, head of culture. Like they understand it very well as a marketing tool. They don't always hit it on the nail. Like, man, it'd be like these brands when they come in and they trying to get culture, like they're so lost when it comes to it, but they understand that, Steve Stout, they understand the value of what it could bring them.
But that depends on who's doing the selling, like, and who you're buying to. You dig what I mean? There's Christian music, right? Mm-hmm. Fairly big market. But if I'm Trojan, there's not a lot of love for me at a Christian festival.
Right.
Like maybe this is the wrong place to push my shit.
Yeah, it might
you
be.
dig what I mean?
Yeah.
The culture that, and we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. Exactly.
No.
The culture that we've been discussing in hip hop and how many different tribes there are. Drake represents a very specific culture. It's very popular. Clubs, champagne, girls. Very popular. Very popular.
Right, but when we say culture, okay, so when Kendrick said, I'm with the culture feeling.
He was talking about
hip hop.
A whole bunch
general.
of different umbrellas, including the one that maybe Drake falls under. Because the problem with that culture that Drake is under is that people get tired of that shit after a minute.
Yeah.
People grow out of the club. Though some of those people are parents now. They're not in the club like that.
I moved to Miami. After 2 weeks, it was over. I was like, ain't no way I keep this up.
Right.
Ain't no way we can keep doing this every night, bro. Can't.
Everybody don't grow out of the club.
Now.
Everybody don't grow out of the club.
It used to be a natural evolution. And it was cool because there were other places to go. But when you introduce ageism, the most important thing to do is make growing up seem corny. It's the most important part.
Niggas gotta call young niggas forever.
I gotta call you old head. I gotta dismiss you.
Right.
I gotta call you Lil. I gotta call you young this.
Like
young
I got called Unc the other day. And I was like,
I'm an uncle? Me?
Sit down, do your homework. Like, yo, bro, you know how long I've been little broed my whole career. I've had OGs my whole career. I've been little broed. Somebody called me Unc. I was like, oh shit.
I made it, ma.
Basically.
Top of the world.
And the nigga was popping. Like the dude who called me Unc, I love seeing his work. I love what he's doing out here. Like he's making a lot of moves. He's really killing it.
Right.
But he was like, yo, what up, Unc? And I was like, wow. Oh shit. I really gotta watch what I say. Niggas is paying attention.
Uncle Mac.
But ageism will have you believe that calling me Unc is an insult. Calling me OG is an insult. Calling me old head is an insult. Because when things are old, they're useless. We don't use them anymore. Old socks, old sneakers, old stereo, old food. You discard that shit. It's ageism, and it's ageism at its most insidious when it comes to us. Because all of our knowledge lies within the people who did it already. If I get to talk to KRS-One, if I get to talk to Rakim, if a youngin gets to talk to Nas, talk to the RZA, talk to Premier, yo, the gems these dudes got,
oh God,
they know the system in and out.
Oh God.
Right.
Bus recorded a song with Simba.
And you know what's crazy? Because you in hip hop right now, it's seldom you see the generational gap blended. Like the fact I did a song with Freeway and Petey Crack, and then did a song with Timbaland, and did a song with Warren G. It's like that's new. You feel me? That like that generational gap isn't really been. We don't have any major songs that displays that. You feel me? It's not really embraced in the same. But I also get it. It's like when we meet with the OGs, it's like they don't want to be around certain shit. Like niggas embrace me because I'm me. It's like, yeah, we fuck with you because you on a different, energy and pace. So it's like it's hard to even make it happen because everybody on different frequencies.
What was that like working with Tim?
Incredible. Cause he really he was really just a part of the environment in the session. Like he wasn't trying to be a star or shine bright. He was just immersed in, and he asked questions and just had excitement about it and shared his joy. It was a beautiful experience. Like it was kids at play. Like it's like this is what we love to do. This is how it's supposed to feel. This is we do it to make songs that we all love and excite us and we feel good about.
How that connection happened?
Matt Cook, the owner of Ethica, tapped in and through someone and they was just like, man, the owner of Ethica really fuck with you. He want to link up, and I'm like, what that nigga want? For real, because like I just be like, what do we want? You feel me? And bro was like, I don't know what he want exactly, but he really want to meet you. So we end up linking. Right. And when I got there, I found out this nigga a producer, and he fire.
The owner of
Ethica. Fire. Nigga played me some shit. I had to get off. But he fired, and what they cultivating over there musically, man, the producers, everybody, but he ended up, I think he did a partnership with like Timbo and B Club and shit. So they just been working. So he made that connection. But man, just what they cultivating over there in that space and what he building, bro. That nigga, that's dope.
That's dope.
For real.
What's been your downsides along this thing? We see you happy all the time, but what's been the hardest part of the evolution so far?
Yeah.
Evolving. You know, evolving is a process. Like for a mountain to become a mountain, that's just constant erosion, corrosion, erosion. So I'm constantly chipping away at. It's like chiseling, you know. So evolving, that is the part. Is like you have to. And sometimes you don't really get to determine how much you grow. You know, it's like those kids who be hella big when they little that they be ashamed of it. And it's like, you ain't got to be, you can't even, your shirt too small because you growing hella fast. Like you can't even, and just learning that and having to embrace it, you know, because it comes with separation of everything you knew or how you thought things would once look, you know, like that whole process in itself is something I've just had to constantly adjust and adapt to and be okay when my mind changes on what I want in life or how I feel about it or what I think, you know, all of that shit, because so many people are affected by one life, you know, and I consider all of that shit. Right. So just evolving in general is everyday process. You know, some days I wake up and I don't have it. I don't have the spirit. I don't have the energy. I just don't have it. You feel me? But I still have to go out into the world and give as much as I can give. You feel me? So just the whole process. But it's been like a beautiful thing for me because I'm learning. You know, I got into a point in my journey where no one prior to me got to. So I don't always have the ability to go ask someone that I would generally ask, you know, for the information or how is this? Like they've never been here. I'm the first nigga to get here. You feel me?
So it's kind of the future is a blind spot, and you're driving, and everyone else is like watching you drive, like
have an opinion on how you drive and where you stop, how you go, how fast you, how slow you go. Oh, is you gonna get? You know, it's like it's so many things around it. And you just trying to figure out life because you like, nigga, ain't none of this ever existed, you know? So it's like, you really, man, you really shedding the whole time. Like I just been shedding.
How many times has your circle changed?
Several. Every year it changes. For the past few years, every year it's altered in some way. Like now I'm with completely different people than I began with for the most part, you know. So every year, but it's like if you was in school, you wouldn't have the same teacher every single year. Right. When you in school, you don't have the same friends every year. Depending on where you growing and where you going and what you've done and who you're becoming, you're gonna have different friend groups that align with that. It's like now, like we on the road with Pain. I got 9 niggas with me, and they all do something. You know, like I used to have a certain amount of niggas with me, but everybody didn't do something. But some is like, this my nigga, he here for this, he gonna do, you know. But like now it's like, no, this nigga's here because he does something. Like he's efficient, you know, in this. That changes. Right. It just everything changes naturally. You know, it's like I play with a band. That's new members in the circle. That's like I didn't know these people. Now we get. So just everything. Every year the circle changes. And that's a traumatic process sometimes. You feel me? Because when you start, you usually start with all your homies because that's who's around you. You don't necessarily have who you need. You just have who you have. Who you got. And that's what you work with and what you build with. And that's what you think it is until you're like, oh, well, I actually need this. Right. And you don't even have any of this. But you know, so it's like, that everything is just a process.
How'd you link up with Pain for this tour?
Man, he booked me last year for his festival and we killed that shit. And he was just like, I got to bring him on the road with me. And it's been the greatest. I just get to really witness an icon being You know, being a free man. I get to witness the nigga who got off the plant, who was on the plantation and got off and built his own shit. And he like, oh yeah, these are horses. Right. You feel me? Like we don't get those opportunities. Everybody, man, for so long, you know, when you coming up, you like, I want to get signed. I want to get signed. I want to get signed. That is literally the goal post. Right. It's like the league, you know, that was the goal post. So to see free niggas and they having that motion and having it their way, and it's like, damn, it is real. It is possible. You feel me?
Right.
You out here rapping like you're trying to get the slaves free.
Right? How you connected with E40?
How did Water come to? I think he just tapped in. Water tapped in a little early and just showed love and was like, if you need me, I'm here. And I finally sent the song to him, and he turned it around instantly. Sent me some. I turned it.
E40 on
man, we was in the car. Nigga, that's Water. Right, it's crazy too because we got the verse on the way back coming from LA. I took my dad and shit. We went to go meet with LA Reid because we was gonna do a deal with Hitco. And the verse came in on the way home, and we was just in the car celebrating. Like, damn, crazy. Used to listen to this nigga in a car seat to own a record.
Right.
You ran into him at the BEATZ Awards. E40.
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh yeah.
That dude's a classic.
All right, I got to double back. I need the stories. Best moments in your journey, worst moments. Take your time, we'll clip it out.
I don't really have no horror moments. Like, the worst moments for me is really just the process of like separation, of losing people that's dear to me.
Who was it?
A multitude of homies. Just separating in general. You know, when you come up with people and you think it's going to be a certain way, and that just alters, and naturally it kind of just leaves a fault in your relationships. Even like family, just the point I'm at now, sometimes I just don't even want to be around people I've been around my entire life, right? And that makes you feel away. It's like I be on the road now and I get to enjoy and reap the benefits of all I worked for, but I don't always get to feel great about it because it's like, damn, everybody doesn't get to experience this, but it's also everybody didn't work for this. You feel me?
Right. Do you get a touch of a survivor's remorse?
Man, every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Because I really take care of my village and my community too. And, you know, I got to a point recently where I didn't want to do that no more because I was like, it's not my job to carry that. You know, like if I choose to, great, but I don't want that burden placed on me. And it's something that is triggering because as you grow up, you know, like, it's like, oh yeah, you get rich and you take care of your family, you take care of this and you take care of that. And it's like, that's not a real thing you place on people. Right. You feel me? Like, it's no one's job to do that or their obligation, but you could really like, I kind of modeled my life in that way and it start weighing on me. It make you feel a way when everybody, when it just feels like a consistent
pull off of you.
Man, and it's like, nigga, I can't ask nobody for this. For nothing, right? You know, like niggas, it'll get to a point where it's like you getting asked for shit that's like, you would never ask anyone for this.
Right.
You feel me?
Why me?
Man, and it's it's a load because you gotta consistently process the people you're around and the people you lend your energy to, and is it real? Is it real? You know, if I like, is it real?
Who's getting close to you just so they could
Oh,
that's E40?
Is it real?
It be like that though.
It be like that. Your man getting phone numbers behind your back. All of a sudden he ain't answering. Weird shit, bro. Weird
right,
shit.
but I'm like learning, like certain roles come with certain attributes.
Right.
And it's like, if that's where you want to go, these are the things that happen, you know, and you just got to kind of accept that. It's what comes with it. You feel me? It ain't sold separately.
Yeah.
It ain't sold separately.
You just don't hear about the depth of it. You know what I mean? You don't.
No.
You're not prepared.
Yeah.
You're not prepared.
And you can't be.
Yeah.
You really can't be, because you can't be. Because everything, like, people perspective of you changes. Mm-hmm. Like, me and my mom had a conversation one time, like, we were just in like a rift, and we had to have a really deep conversation, and it was just like her perspective of me was altered from just her son, you know?
Right.
And that's some shit that it could just naturally occur when you in this flow of life and you seen it and you moving, like, you don't even stop to think like, oh yeah, niggas is a human that has this problem and have to deal with it. Just it kind of escapes you. And same with me, sometimes it escapes me with people, but you have to, man, communication is crazy. But sometimes I get to the point where it's like, I don't even want to I don't even care to communicate it, because there's so much other shit I got to deal with. You feel me?
Right.
That doing this takes time away from me.
And you kind of start to become the asshole to other people, but they just can't fathom the weight of what you're doing. Yeah, it's crazy.
My mother had the greatest line. I was out with her. Somebody stopped and was like, "Yo, you do this?" I was like, "Yeah, what up? Can I take a picture?" Yeah, sure. Let's take a picture. We walked a couple. Happened again. Oh, hey. Happened again. Hey. And I went to her about the fourth time. I went to my mom. Was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry." And she said, "You don't belong to just me anymore." Looked me dead in the face, said, "You don't belong to just me anymore. You haven't belonged to just me in a while, but you don't belong to just me anymore." And then she said, "Do you still belong to you?" is the question.
Ooh.
And we had a...
Damn, your mom's and your pops just be dropped. God damn, bro. Like this.
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Bro.
What can I tell you?
Man, you need to be on your 7th book, bro. Like, my mom said, my dad said, part 3.
Oh,
like,
God.
your parents just
That's
dropped
forbidden
jewels.
knowledge. It be
Facts.
forbidden knowledge. Like, when the OG drop something on you,
Facts.
it's forbidden knowledge.
They don't talk
It's
a lot.
it be through experience. Like, they been in the forest.
Right. But what I'm noticing now is that people don't talk when they feel like they wasting their breath. Some of y'all, new dudes and rappers, y'all approach with this level of entitlement. Y'all approach with this level of arrogance and obnoxiousness and stuff. And what you don't understand is your OGs ain't just old. They didn't just stay in the house. They were off the porch. They were in the field. They saw it. They can smell things on you.
And you know what's crazy? Like, you really have to, I had that issue. You know, even with all the early deals, I felt the way I felt because I felt entitled to fair treatment. And I was deserving of it, but I wasn't entitled to it. Nobody had to give me shit. You feel me? But you know, that's it'd be hard to grasp.
Fair is a place where they judge pigs and pies. Doesn't exist in the world of business, bro. Ain't no fair. Ain't no fair.
Yo, we're gonna start putting this shit on t-shirts.
Oh God.
Just stay tuned. We're gonna start putting all the MECC sayings on t-shirts.
Mechanism.
Facts.
You can't negotiate fair.
Now, best moments.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
That's fine.
Nigga, all of it. I was on my mama couch. Pull it out, had to pack it up each morning and throw the covers back in the closet. You feel me? It's like all of it. All of it. The fact, nigga, I used to watch BET 106 in Park premiering I'm Sprung, and to be side by side with T-Pain, sharing information, getting game, like all of it. I don't take none of it for granted. You know I worked my ass off and I earned it, but I also know you know, some of it is divine, and I'm experiencing this life because I'm supposed to be the messenger to deliver this message. Right. So all of it, that shit be mind blowing to me. Still, I see Pain and be like, nigga, that's T-Pain. Mm-hmm. Pain had texted together the other day and was laughing like, nigga, we don't know no one else in life. You know, like, oh yeah, I be texting T-Pain. That is like, like if a nigga told you that, you'd be like, right. If Michael Jackson hit me, you feel me? Like it's not a fathomable thing still to this day because I go home. I don't live in the hill. I go home. Regular everyday people. I'm in my community, so sometimes it feel like a crazy. It don't even feel like real life. Like it's different when you live in Hollywood and that's all you around. It's like that's your life. But for me, I'm still a regular nigga at home, so it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy.
Is it? Math said something earlier. He was talking about how when you hear certain dudes, they sound like they from out here. Yeah. Is that still a compliment? I see so much West Coast pride, and the game has evolved. Is that still something that if you heard it, it sounded like a compliment? I mean, it was meant as a compliment. It's always meant as a compliment. Right. But dude, is that still a compliment?
To me, it is.
Okay.
Like if a nigga hear me and be like, "You from the coast?" To me, that's a compliment. It's like, yeah, yeah. And because you know, it's like I got really embraced by the East Coast early for rapping, for hip hop. You know, like niggas are just now like I'm just now making West Coast music at this rate. You feel me? To where people associate me with it. But yeah, for me, it's a compliment. Even when we be outside, like we run into niggas in different places, like me. You run into somebody from New York and we like, nigga, you from New York. It's always excitement for me because it's like, it's just it's identity. You feel me? In a genuine form. Yeah.
So we talked about the show earlier, the whole Drake and Kendrick thing. This nigga Kendrick started his set with Euphoria.
Yeah. A menace.
Bro, he's
a menace. And he rapped everything.
He's diabolical.
Bro, how did y'all feel about him performing Not Like Us five times?
Incredible. Spiritual. Nigga, you ever been at the party with your folks and everybody turned and that fucking whoa, run that hope. You make me happy. We playing it 5 times. Run it back.
Yeah. Word. Yes.
Oh God, like it was a moment. It's one of them. It's a moment. Live in it.
Right.
Live in it. The only niggas who was counting was the niggas outside. The niggas inside, you in the moment.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Has during the Drake Kendrick scuffle, what were you hoping would come with as an LA, as a California dude?
Somebody say your name.
Hell nah. Why you playing with your life? I didn't have nothing. I really just got to watch, you know, and bear witness to history. Bear with. I was excited. I had partial excitement and partial like, this nasty work. I don't really want it. After it got to a point, it was like,
hey, I don't know where they're going with this.
But it's history. You know, it's an incredible monument in history, and I'm like, I'm really grateful Kendrick got that, you know, because his greatness is never in question. But you know, when those conversations happen, sometimes it be too balanced, and it's like what Kendrick has contributed culturally is just like. He deserved that moment.
Right. If there was to be,
and I don't think that moment could exist with anyone else.
No,
like that shit.
1, 2,
shit like that.
1, 2. That's it.
Man,
1, 2. But I think you know, a lot of people was like, "Yo, man, if you ready for Drake?" Da, da, da. I just like to call it how I see it, and I knew, all right, all this personal shit. Let's not become the pitchfork people and go on fucking witch hunts and shit like that. Let's sit back and enjoy this shit. because we've never seen this happen before.
Yeah.
The rate that things was moving was like
truly a first.
This is really two
Kendrick really
God
showed us the
level
power
artists.
of freedom and independence too.
Mm.
He was uploading them motherfuckers and getting them off.
Boom. Boom.
In minutes.
But yeah, I mean, and I get that. And I try not to grab the pitchfork either, but like some records are so, when you listen, it's like, it makes you think if you're a human. It makes you a little bit cognizant. Like you have to look at things and be like, that is a bit questionable. Like we've been having a conversation lately that we're, what's the word?
You got like conscious critique.
Conscious, like as a culture, we're very acceptive of behavior that's like, we know that ain't right.
Yeah, facts.
Detrimental.
But we cool.
Right.
You know, like me and Splash has gotten to a point lately, like we be doing work and shit. And I be like, it's funny, I had a show and a nigga grabbed the mic, I be letting niggas rap. And he got on to just start rapping some murder, kill shit. And it was like, bro, no. Read the room. Like I don't even, it ain't even about the room. It's like, that's not what we own.
Right.
It ain't cool. You feel me? And like, I've been growing as an artist to where like, I don't want to work if a nigga gonna talk about killing and shooting it, because to me, shooting a nigga who the same nigga as me ain't cool.
Right.
It ain't. There's no cool part about it. I'm not impressed at all. You feel me? So, but we as a culture are really complicit in all behavior. In all, some niggas, like, a lot of niggas be knowing what's going on, but niggas don't say nothing.
But,
you feel me?
Some motherfuckers is the Punisher when they rap. You can either be entertained by it, but I don't think that in no ways should we be at the point where this isn't influential anymore.
It's not about just rap. It's like
lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just rap.
It goes further
It's
than
like
the records.
It's real. This is real life. Like some of these niggas really believe it, go do it, and die. Some of these niggas is like really taking your word and getting on drugs and becoming bound. Like it's like the shit is real. It's bigger than the rap. You feel me? And when you become so complicit to the point, we just allow niggas to do and say whatever, and we keep showing up and we put them on pedestals and we embrace them and we celebrate it. And it's like, nigga, do you hear what niggas are talking about?
No, right.
What are we doing?
Right.
But we are very acceptive of everything.
Don't hate is the scapegoat to escape.
Man, that shit don't be hate. It's
No,
like, nigga, I don't want to hear about.
It's never hate. It's not to the detriment of the people that you don't want to hear murder, kill, death, blah, blah, blah. What I'm saying is what the answer to that, the cliche answer to that critique is you hate. You hate. You watch him. You don't want me to sell. I'm out here feeding my family.
And that's the thing. And that's why I say our complicity is deep, because me choosing to not hang around a nigga who beat on a woman is not any type of hate. That's a nigga saying, hey, I ride with you, you're a human, but that's not how I rock and how I get down. I don't approve. I'm gonna pull myself away. But we still hang and celebrate and that, you feel me? It's a different type of culture that is being cultivated to where it's just like, niggas cool. Niggas cool with that. You feel me? And I get it, because it's like we grow up with niggas who do egregious shit. And it's like, that's my brother, that's my dog. But at some point in life,
you gotta say, I can't rock with that no more.
Like,
bro,
niggas,
I did.
That don't take care of their kids. I don't rock with them.
Right.
You can't come around me like you don't take care of your kids. Imagine like what you'll do to me.
Now I saw a post where this dude was like, if you don't cheat on your girl, I can't hang with you. In my mind, I'd be like, if you cheat on your girl, I'm gonna watch you. Because if she can wash your drawers, cook your meals, you know what I mean, take care of your kids, and you could lay next to her and lie to her, nigga, you definitely gonna lie to my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be shit to tell me a lie. So,
complicit.
You know what I mean? I'll watch you. I'll be like, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, I didn't
but
do that.
With hip hop, we open that door.
Oh,
we like, nigga, you could be at nigga. You have to have, you can have as little accountability as possible.
Right. What's in your vice?
Man, bro.
Right.
it's a little different, but I get it, you know, because it's just how it came up. And niggas we was laughing the other day because we were saying how like the music, the music was freakier. Early 2000 hip hop, and it's like we all in the club like this, but it was like that was the energy being cultivated, and that's what we was being taught how to see women, how to perceive it. Like the reason, nigga, we make songs that say "fuck that bitch," my bitch, about a woman, is because we've been so complicit in how we see each other and how we judge each other, how we gauge it. You feel me?
Right. Or even pimps being idolized. You know what I'm saying? And when you start to think about,
nigga, it's crazy.
Should we be doing that?
If that nigga had your daughter out there, you wouldn't feel the same way.
Exactly.
It's because of the traits and the villains that we admire, and it's rarely the action of the villain. It's the trait. It's the bravado to buck the system. It's the bravado to get past and stand up.
There's a duality.
Something. Yeah, you live.
Yeah.
Outlaw
There's a duality.
The outlaw life is always
like,
sexy.
I'll say a prayer
definitely.
with DMX, rest in peace. But then there were certain lyrics, so it was like when you listen to it now, you're like,
got a daughter older than 15. I'm a rape. What?
Whoa! You're like,
yo,
hold on, X.
I love
you know what I'm
X.
saying?
And
like,
what's
still
crazy
one of my
is
favorite rappers.
Sometimes it's like, if it would have been one nigga who was like, hold on, holla at me. Like, bro, I had a session one time, and right before the session, I got a call. And I'm talking to the homie, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna go do the session. And the nigga just dropped some shit on me and was like, the whole session, it was fun. We went in the session and I couldn't get that balance because I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta holler. Like, I had to tell the nigga, like, I just heard this. If any of this comes to where it's like, no, this real and we don't know, just know we can't do nothing. No more. Like, it's already, you feel me?
Right.
But most niggas ain't having that. And I get why they don't, because sometimes the conversation is like, you don't even want to deal with another nigga business, but I feel like when you do take those steps and have that, somebody got to say something at some point. It's like, bro, nigga, he dragging her down the stairs.
Right.
Like, nigga, somebody next to the nigga got to say something.
Right.
We just going to keep toasting?
Yeah. Something gotta, yeah.
Shout out to D1 out here doing the Lord's work.
Shout out D1. Hey, and they be mad at D1 for saying real shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, y'all mad at the niggas saying real shit. Niggas start calling them names and shit. He ain't saying nothing crazy.
At all.
At all.
At all, ever.
At all.
And everything he says is to the benefit of you specifically. If you in this thing.
I ain't buying that shit, man. D1, I rock with you, bro, but sometimes you be picking targets.
Man,
yeah.
Definitely.
Be like,
I don't know though. But yeah. It be feeling like that. But it's also like, it's always in truth.
He's not wrong.
He's
Like,
not
he's
wrong.
not wrong. Even if he's picking and choosing. Okay, I'll say this.
He not wrong. That
Find
nigga
the
Ross
lie.
said put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and enjoyed that. She ain't even know it.
What?
That's a line. That's
Yeah.
a line.
He wasn't wrong.
That's a line.
It's like that's
line.
what niggas is complicit in.
It gets crazy.
When it comes to D1, my only thing is tell me where he's lying. Show me where he's lying, I'll shut up. Find me the lie, I'll shut up. I won't say shit else. Show me where he's lying.
Aries energy.
If he's lying, I got you. If that wasn't true, if the thing he said wasn't true, just show it to me.
And
I'll
that's
shut
the
up.
thing where it becomes difficult for people because it's our culture. And it means so much. Like, nigga, even me hearing that line and knowing where I am now is like, I grew up a Ross fan. One of my nigga, more money mean more dough to blow. You feel me? Like, that was one of my, I looked so I could write, get my pen better.
Right.
But it's like, when you have the information, it's like, nigga.
I can't excuse that.
I can't excuse it. It's like, nigga.
Right.
You can't unhear it.
You can't even defend it.
Who the fuck think to write that? There's no nigga who thinks I'm gonna write this in a rap unless that's how you moving.
Right.
That ain't no line you make up. You don't write down and be like, oh yeah, that was a fake line.
You either did it or you
Nigga, why would you do that? Why would you put that in for fake?
Right.
You feel me? But it's like, and
Or
I
she-
feel like
you
D1
never
is
know.
just
She
saying nigga.
She might have did it to him last week. You never know. I don't know.
You never know.
what
Got
I'm saying?
ridiculed for that.
But there is
You never
a
know.
there is a
But that's the
duality.
thing, is like, that's always
Like Sexy
our,
Red?
that's always our plight. I love Ross, so it's hard to even be like, I don't want to crucify
Right.
nobody. You
Right.
feel that's literally the
Listen.
plight consistently, no matter how egregious the act is that a nigga do, we still be like, but that's our nigga.
Right. If I'm partying with my girl and her homegirls, Sexy Red is playing, they twerking all over the living room, I'm like, yeah. When my daughters come over,
Oh God.
yo, we better
Wrap
turn
this
that
shit up.
Turn that
Wrap this shit up.
What the fuck is y'all doing? So there's a duality to it where you kind of like this guilty pleasures. I mean, I'm not talking about the Ross line. I'm talking about like guilty pleasures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The bravado, you touch my family, I'm gonna reply like this.
Right.
There's a duality. But
It is.
At some point, certain lines is like, okay, what part of the game was that?
And that's the thing, like, we got to get to a point where duality doesn't trump morality, right?
I like that.
Because that duality will always exist. It's like, yeah, we like ass, and we like counting cash, and we like all that shit.
Right.
You feel me? But it's like, at a point, depending on where you going in life and what matters to you, it's like, why do you like that? Why do you enjoy that so much of all things? You feel me? Like it becomes to get deeper, and when you start realizing the habits, it be nigga, you'll realize you a nigga that you should distance yourself from. Because if it was you with another body, you'd be like, this nigga, you feel me?
Like,
Sorry, but there's no duality to rape and pedophilia.
Ever.
Right.
There's no duality.
Ever.
that's true.
There's no duality.
No.
There's a hard line and
Right.
there's no duality.
No, the DMX shit. But again,
See? And that's
some
right.
chicks is into that. So,
Right.
I can't, you know what I mean?
Right.
You might have put it all in a drink, but she might have popped one before she drank the drink. You never know. I don't know. But I wouldn't make it sound like that. It does sound like
Yeah,
a setup.
Still,
I feel like you need a shower.
It does sound like a setup. I'm trying, Rick. I'm trying, but I don't think I could do it.
I love
I don't think
Rose.
I could do it, bro.
The fact is,
I gotta die on that one.
And I think, and that's the thing. That's why I understand D1 when he like, I love them niggas, because that's how I feel. I love Rose.
Right.
That doesn't change the matter of fact, but it's also like you don't have to narrow in on people. But is it narrowing in if they give it to you? Like when we just start having this combo, that line popped in my head. It's like, nigga, I can't. That's the shit that was given to me.
It, right.
again,
You was like, what?
if he's lying, it's only foul if he's lying. If he was making shit up to get at people, that's foul. You just making shit up.
But what if it stopped the niggas, you know what I mean, paper?
No.
That okay.
When
And
you do
again, then we're back here. We're back
See?
here.
Right.
Morality.
versus
Right.
You know, we're hearing that.
Niggas know a nigga who like he beat and rape bitches and it's like I don't want to fuck up his paper though. Man,
Yeah.
fuck up that nigga life.
Facts.
Like, bro, this
Fuck that nigga up right
nigga
now.
is sick. You feel me? Like you don't.
Fuck
but
that
we
nigga up
have.
right
That's
now.
how it be, and there be certain situations where I have to be like, damn, should I say something? Which is crazy when you know what's right and you still like, should I say something? You feel me?
I mean, real nigga shit. If you was in the hood doing shit like that, we not standing for it.
We not jacking that.
We not jacking that. You gonna get
You
your
know,
ass whooped.
That's not real though.
His people.
That's not
boy.
true though.
Yeah, his
Cause
people,
some
No. In
some
my
do.
hood, oh nah.
And
Certain
depending
niggas
on
ain't
who
gonna say nothing
depending
because
on
of
who
that.
he is in the hood, depending on who he is to these dudes, if he's feeding them, like
Mhm.
they don't want to lose their spot.
Listen, a dude put his hands on his moms in my hood. We beat that nigga from the rooftop to the first floor.
Right?
Forget
And that's
about
one hood in America. You
Right.
feel me? There's thousands where that shit fly.
actually that's one block. You have no idea what's happening on the other block.
Yeah.
In the other house, somebody.
Nah, I dig it.
if the big homie is doing shit, I see a lot of people.
Right? But it flies
Look the
because,
wrong way.
like I say, we've indoctrinated some habits as like our culture. We like, nah, that's what we do. And it's like, nah, that ain't what we gotta do.
That ain't what we gotta do.
We've indoctrinated as just like cool, like you know, seeing, and I be trying not to say bitch, but it's like it's ingrained. Seeing bitches shaking their ass is cool until it's your mama or your sister, and it's like that's somebody's mama or their sister. Right. And it's the like no matter how they got there and how you got there, like all that shit be the same on a deep level, but we just be kind of on the surface, like, bro, that shit.
Right, so at one point are you like, I mean, I mean it, but I know it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean it, but I know it's wrong. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's your conscience.
Yeah.
But at what point do you say? Because there's certain shit that, yeah, I mean this. I know it's wrong.
Yeah, on God.
But don't fuck with me, and you won't have to find out. You know what I'm saying?
No one is the villain in their own story. Everybody justifies what they do. Nobody sees themselves as the bad guy.
You know, I got a line I could call out on you, right?
Come on.
Oh shit.
Got my I ain't trying to fight.
Yeah. I'm not.
You see what I'm saying?
I navigate my life so peacefully.
Right.
That if you come into my world with that kind of energy, that gives me all the means because I've done nothing to you. If I've gotten to this point, it would only happen if you was deserving and you earned it. That got the hunt, and I'm not trying.
And I agree with you.
I'm not. I'm sitting in the park enjoying my time.
But then there would be a little dude that I tell, and that's locked up for responding a certain way, and I'd be like, "You shouldn't have took it there." Dig what I'm saying?
I think there's levels to it. Like if that's your first resort, that's an issue.
Fucked up. Yeah.
I'm somebody who you have to go through there's so much that has to happen.
Right.
Before you get to that point.
Man, you feel me? But these niggas is like, bro, that's literally like you can look at a nigga a certain way and that's first, you feel me? It's a different means behind it.
But that's the duality. But depending, block rules. You on this block, you might think you could talk it out, but the people that live on that block, ain't no talking. So do you adjust to the rules? You dig what I'm saying?
You adjust to the intention. That's how I'll put it. You adjust to the intention.
Listen.
There are no perfect men in this world. There are only perfect intentions. I don't mean to. However, if it got to this point and I did what I needed to do to protect myself, the fact is I didn't come at you with malice. I didn't come into this situation with malice. Now, if you came into this situation with malice, I'm with bro. After this point, whatever happens after this, you deserve. Right. My conscience is clear.
Like a nigga pull up on you and and he like, I ain't trying to talk. I'm not gonna try to convince you.
Bro, and
I'm not trying to convince you. You just let it, oh, you're not talking. Okay.
Now the conversation doesn't need to be had between,
next level with it.
The conversation doesn't need to be had between us. It needs to be had with him. Bro, what's wrong with you? Why is this the thing you decide to do?
Once you say I ain't trying to talk, I'm not asking what's wrong with you.
No, I'm not.
I'm not trying to find out.
I'm not saying
we're gonna find out later in the autopsy.
I'm not saying that's the part. I'm not saying that's the place where you talk. I'm not saying that's the place where you talk. But the people who are on that kind of time, you need to ask yourself why you like that.
Man, and all that change, like I say, the niggas who, like I'm a nigga who I over communicate. You feel me? So it's like sometimes that just be what's missing. It just be a nigga who knew how to communicate missing. It never had to go to the depth it went to. It was just two niggas who couldn't express what they was feeling towards each other.
It wasn't even that serious. It's rarely ever that serious.
Seldom. Very, very seldom that is that
ever
serious.
That serious.
Ever.
But what it is it's a lot of other serious things going on in that person's head.
Again, that's the conversation.
Pushes everything into the same category.
What happened? What's wrong with you?
I'm telling you, that what's wrong with you? What happened?
Ego, pride, obnoxiousness, hubris. There's all kind. But bro, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
I don't want that.
But
I
a
don't want
lot
that
of
with
a
you.
lot of niggas don't know what's wrong with them, and like that line you just said, a lot of niggas is too prideful to be like, I don't want a problem with you. That ain't it. What you dealing with ain't got nothing to do with me, right?
And a lot of dudes become braver if you think you don't want the
blood in the water.
They think they smell blood in the water. They can't see the killer whale doesn't want to bite your head off today. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
How about you just play with your life on wax?
Yeah.
Why you playing with your life?
Just go with Larussell on the song if you want it like that.
Facts.
You really want to see
The
violence.
word of the day is complicit.
Complicit. Now, seeing the Kendrick and Drake thing, in the back of your mind, was you like, man, if somebody play with me, boy,
You know, I can't even.
I'm gonna let them know what that 10-minute, what them 10 minutes mean to me. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even imagine it, but you know, I'm nasty with the sword.
Right.
I'm nasty with the sword, but I couldn't even imagine it. I would probably, at this point in my life, I would probably laugh. Like if I ever heard a diss track about me, I would laugh because I wouldn't think it's real or serious.
Right.
Like that shit just kind of, you know,
right.
Which I feel like Kendrick kind of had like some of that was like.
Right.
But then again, with him, it's not laugh worthy because it's like, nigga, why you playing?
Right. Right. Why are you playing in the first place?
We haven't gotten the chance to talk to somebody from the West Coast since this whole thing has happened. Like, you're the first guy we've actually been able to get in the chair.
Yeah.
And not only talk to him about the whole thing from your lens, but now even after this concert, with some of the biggest members of certain organizations were on stage together.
Dr. Drake.
I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about.
We talking about block work.
Yeah, I'm talking about them boys was up there together,
and you know,
and really looked together. That stage, that photo on that stage, because trying to get in touch with them.
The real feeling. Like nigga, when I do backyard shows, it's every section. When Larussell walk around with every section, oh nigga, that's my bro. The love that niggas have for Kendrick and what's being built, that's at a human level. You know, gang affiliation exists on a different tier. You got to get after the human. Them niggas just up there as humans, like, bro, this a special moment. This a real thing. Like, nigga was outside one day, one of his first days working with me. A nigga pulled up, hopped out of the car, big ass gun in his pants. He just came to embrace me. Literally, I thought bro, I got to get a picture. Like all that other shit that he was on disappeared.
You're right.
Because it's not on his human level. He got to channel himself to go there.
Right.
On a human level, it's like, nigga, I love this, nigga, I love it. What this is, you can't beat that. And only certain niggas can breed that. It got to be genuine to breed that. That's why only Kendrick could pull that shit off.
That was amazing.
Incredible.
That was amazing.
Incredible.
Like I'm so proud of what the West Coast is doing.
Bro,
right
I've seldom. I don't think maybe once or twice. I don't think I've ever cheered from my couch at a concert. Like that's how fucking crazy it was. It was like, nigga, you feel me? Like that. To be able to cultivate that in today's time, bro, special.
Dope. What's next?
Man, I'm lifing. A little everything. You know, we just started our own subscription service through Even. So we do proud to pay subscription. You can pay whatever you want a month. And it's like unlimited everything we do. All the tour vlogs, the shows, just chats, just everything. You feel me? I was tired of helping build everybody else's houses and was like, we need a spot where niggas come to us. So just, man, technology and life and hella music, tons of music, shows. We just been building, running a race.
So how many dates on the tour?
We got 8 left now. 8 left. We did 18 total.
So
yeah, this is my first tour too.
Stop playing.
I've only done like when I tour, I do one-offs because I like to go home. You feel me? So if I'm on the East, I hit a few, but I go home. Though this is the first time like we've been out for extended.
Oh,
period.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Congratulations! Big congrats! And with a legend. And
with a legend.
And he took care of everything seamlessly. Like I haven't had seamlessly it'd be crazy how some of these big companies try to do you when they book you for shows, and Payne's team is like, what do you need? Let's do it. You feel me? Like seamlessly.
Okay, so
I feel like artists treat artists better than
definitely
corporation.
Definitely.
I mean, some artists do exactly what the corporation do.
Because that's all they were taught.
Right.
That's all they were taught. That's the only way they think. That's the way they think it works. They think, they rarely do executives who were groomed by other executives think that there's another formula, another system that's possible.
You know, it was hella funny. Early on, when after like the Roc Nation deal and shit, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that one. And I was doing the royalties and shit. Like Hovain sent me a text.
Rest in peace, Hovain.
That nigga was like, he was like, man, in the beginning, I didn't know, you know, because when I first met with them, they was like, nigga, you need to go sign. Like you that. And he sent me a message, you know, prior to him passing, and he was like, nigga, I believe anything you say. Because he got to see in that span of time, me just be like, nah, that ain't it. I'm gonna do it this way. And it worked every time.
But see, Hovain was such a real way. He was an outlier in his class.
Yes.
Like of his peers, Hovain was an outlier. He was different. So he would be the dude to see what
Man, it's a lot of niggas just collecting checks.
Facts.
Hovain was really one of them who was going to get it and to bring it back. Man,
rest in peace, Hovain. One time,
like Hovain was bringing me plays. Hovain was bringing me plays, and not even trying to take no paper from me or nothing. Like I had to be like, oh yeah, just keep having like just love. But I remember in the beginning when they was first going like he was gonna help me with some shit. They all had started and was like, we're gonna manage you and shit, and it was like traditional, and I was like, nigga, I don't need no man, I'm not doing that shit. And so I kind of was like, no, we not doing this no more. But Hovain kept working. He never was like, the nigga don't want me to buy. That was one of our jokes. He'd be like, remember when you fired us? But it was like, he just seen what I was building and what I was after and what I needed. It was just, bro, it was genuine.
He was a real one.
Hovain managed a lot of niggas, right? Styles.
If
he was
you
managing Styles too, right?
If you smart, Hovain was the dude to go see. If you smart, he was the dude. He wasn't about that action. That dude was a genuine dude.
Rest in peace, Hovain.
Moves like that.
Hovain.
Before we stop, happy graduation to Raiden Diaz, PH's oldest son. His graduation party is actually happening right now, but I could not be there. One time for my nephew. We love you. We're proud of you. Graduating. Raiden Diaz. You're the man of the house. You look just like your father. You still ain't got no ankles and you still don't have no wrists. One big slab of muscle that goes all the way to his face, just like his father.
Rest in peace,
Rest in peace. Proud of you, boy. Proud of you.
That's dope. That's dope. Slowly becoming one of my favorite guys.
Come on. Come on.
Let's get it. Larussell, y'all.
Yeah.
Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.